Welcome back. This is our fourth video for the seasonal healing winter series of our kidney bladder cleansing and supporting program. So today I just want to talk a little bit about the Chinese medicine view of things, even though I will once again admit that I am not an expert in Chinese medicine and my forte is Western herbalism. I graduated from Dr. Christopher's School of Natural Healing, and I am a master herbalist of Western herbalism. So the Chinese philosophies, these are things that I've just studied on my own. I've chosen to align the Dr. Christopher's cleansing herbs and programs with the seasons in the same way as the Chinese do this. And so, but what I want to bring in today is the understanding of the elements. So the Chinese talk about the elements lining up with the seasons and the organs and many other things, and they're all part of this same system. And so I am talking about the water element today. So the water element is aligned with winter, and one of the reasons for that is obviously because the kidneys and bladder are the systems in our body that deal with water regulation. And so that's an easy way to remember that kidneys are water element and belong in the winter as far as how we take care of them and support them. So the water element also has to do with your deepest reserves, and that's a very winter thing also. It's about reserving and conserving our strength and our energy so that we have those stores built up for spring, when we have the push of the wood element to go and take action on our goals. Right now, winter is the time for steady reflection, building up our energy, planning and preparing our goals that will be acted on and moved forward in the spring. So I know that is different from our New Year's resolutions and how we like to do our goals right in the new year. And that's not a bad thing, but I know personally I tend to be more of in planning phase all through January, and once we get into spring I feel like I do have that energy to actually go and do and implement those plans a little easier. But winter and water element is also about the willpower. It's just about steady, grounded willpower, the ability to know your limits, but also to build those reserves so you're not acting from depletion and a burnout of those reserves. And so winter's the time to rebuild those reserves and those energy stores. The kidneys are what the Chinese say build those reserves, and one way we can understand that is understanding that the adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys and work together with the kidneys for our energy reserves. And we know that when we hit those adrenals with caffeine and pushing ourselves all the time and lack of sleep, that we burn out our adrenal glands and have adrenal exhaustion. And that is a similar idea as far as pushing and wearing out our reserves from the Chinese kidney water element point of view. And the kidneys work together with that adrenal gland. Also, the water element and kidney and bladder system are all tied into a meridian system. The Chinese meridian system is the basis for acupuncture, and acupuncture is very well known and accepted these days. There is a lot of scientific research behind them. You can think of the acupressure meridians as an electrical wiring in the body that connects our organs to our nervous system, to our circulation, and to our muscular systems. And so they're all tied in, and there's a kidney meridian and a bladder meridian, and these help to feed energy, circulation, nerve function to our kidneys and bladder and to the muscles that they run through. And so I will talk a little bit more about that in another video, the muscles that those meridians are tied to. Right now I just want to introduce the meridian system. Each meridian has a point of where it begins, and they are numbered from 1 to 60 or some other number depending on how many points along that meridian are used as acupoints or acupuncture points. So the main kidney points that you can work on yourself, if you don't have a lot of background in all of those acupressure points, and you don't need to, even though they are helpful, but if you just want a couple points to help gauge how that meridian system is flowing, you can use the kidney 1 point, which is right on the bottom of the foot. I will show this in a picture more clearly, but you just press on that point. If it's sore or if it feels really just weak and you don't feel like you even can feel anything in there, both of those are indications that there may be an imbalance in that meridian system. Another point called the source point is right next to the ankle bone. So these 2 points for the kidney meridian are a good one to start with and just work each day, help get that meridian line open. They come up this inside of the legs, up the torso to right below the collarbone. And so these points are often called the brain buttons. They help wake up the brain energy. So you can work those feet and ankle points, and then also just rub these points under the collarbone, get that kidney meridian flowing. The bladder points they actually start right on the inside of the eyebrows, go over the head and down the back of the legs to the pinky, the outer edge of the pinky toe, right by the nail bed. And so that's where you can press to see how that feels, if it's a little sore. And then the source point is right below that side bump on your outside of your foot. So right there, work that too. On both legs, so the meridians run on both sides of the body. And so you can just work those kidney and bladder points each day, and that will also help with the circulation, nerve flow, organ function, and will also help the muscles that these meridians flow through. So that's just a fun little tip that you can add in while you are supporting your kidneys and bladder with the herbs, with a lot of water and good food and warm soups this winter season.